if you can, tell a big idea and make the audience conjure those images in their head and don't specify for them, give them glimpses of it, it's a beautiful thing.
Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to talk to you.
I'm very excited to have a chance to talk with you about this movie because I really enjoy it. And I would like to start with this idea because these four strangers ask to a family to make a choice of sacrifice to save humanity and to save the world. But I think that a sacrifice is not a decision because you don't have a choice. There are no options. So I would like to know if it is possible for you to choose sacrifice, because I think it's a very interesting idea.
Yeah, I would say you don't have to sacrifice in this story. You can choose not to. That's your choice. So I'm good. Our family's gonna stay the way they are. Good luck to you all. Good luck with the whole end of the world thing. Our family is just the way we are. And a lot of people would choose that. And so saying, we're not up for the whole sacrifice thing. Thanks for asking. And that would be the end of it. So in my mind, that's automatically where you start in the story is, you asking me to choose you guys over my family? Forget it, So very interesting ask and the moral dilemma at the center. And as it starts to build and more information starts to come, both in the doubt and the belief thing, but also in the whether humanity is worth saving, we're all interesting conversations.
Your family has been chosen to make a horrible decision. If you fail to choose, the world will end.
And the end of humanity and the end of the world is like a big story. But what I love about Knock at the Cabin is that everything happens in a little cabin in the middle of the woods and just 7 persons talking about the destiny of everyone. So it's a big story contained in a very small place. So every single detail in this movie helps the audience to feel that everything is so contained, the space, the time, the family, these strangers. And I think it's great. So I would like to know if you keep that idea in mind since the beginning when you were writing the script.
I think I was drawn to it for those reasons, that it was a cinematic challenge. If you can, tell a big idea and make the audience conjure those images in their head and don't specify for them, give them glimpses of it, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, when I look at some of the posters on my wall at my house and in my office, even if you think of The Exorcist, that was the first time I probably felt this feeling of, wow, this is a giant biblical story that's taking place in a girl's bedroom. How amazing and provocative is that? That's so beautiful.
I'm afraid the rule is that no one's allowed to leave until you choose.
In Knock at the Cabin, the world's end depends on 3 persons. That sounds terrible because it is like the biggest responsibility ever. But in real life, a few people make that kind of decisions, like the government or business people. They are talking about climate change and they take that kind of decision. So the fact that in this movie, the decision is on an ordinary family whose unique interests are the love that they feel for each other, that sounds better for me than real life. So what do you think about that?
It's funny. I think the individuals, and I think you're right, there's maybe a handful of individuals that make these decisions, but they don't think they're making these decisions. They think it doesn't matter the things that they're doing. I mean, if there were 4 strangers that could tie them up and tell them, the thing you're doing is deciding humanity, then convince them that would be a healthy thing so they would know, at least take responsibility for it. But right now they're just making these decisions and pretending it's kind of diffusion of responsibility is what's happening right now. And so I in some ways the movie's about convincing this family that this is true, that they do have this responsibility. And in that same way, I wish that was the case with the people that are actually making these decisions.
Thank you very much for your time, sir. And I really enjoyed this movie. So thank you very much.
Thank you. It was nice talking to you.
I will ask for the last time. Will you make a choice?